Sonic the Hedgehog 4 is an upcoming Sonic movie that is set to release in spring of 2027, March 19, 2027 to be exact. And this movie is set to feature Amy Rose as a new character to the Sonic movie franchise and Metal Sonic as a new villain in the movie franchise. This is pretty exciting in my opinion because we get to... This is a pretty interesting way to end off in a cliffhanger to see what will happen next, because we do know Amy and Metal Sonic are actually going to appear in the next movie, but based on the other games in the past, like, how will the plot play out? Will it be a new story? Would it reference something like CD or 06? Well, I'm just gonna do my predictions real quick. This is obviously just my opinion on what I think will happen, and then we'll wait in about 2 years to see what happens next in the next movie. So let's get into it without wasting any more time. So we got our first look at the movie version of Amy Rose at the end of the movie, although we only really get to see her face. And other than that, like, the rest is just hitting underneath her robe or whatever the heck she's wearing. And then Metal Sonic, we get more of a better look at him, because even though it is dark outside in one of the final shots of the film, do know that he will be one of the possibly the main antagonist or one of the antagonists. So we obviously know how Metal Sonic plays out. He goes against Sonic, first introducing Sonic CD, and then he only ends up racing him. So I feel like Metal Sonic will do obviously way more than that. Try to kill him, defeat him, and possibly we could see him as like race Sonic and at some point during the ending of the film, or it can be the middle, or we could see him multiple times. So what I think will the fourth movie take inspiration on mostly from CD and maybe some other game like Sonic 06, which I know a lot of people are not happy with, but I feel like CD is more likely to be the fourth Sonic movie is most likely to be inspired by CD, because like if you say 06, then it will just be referenced. It's more like Silver, Blaze, or other characters seen 06, and then we don't see Silver yet, so obviously I say like it's obviously probably going to take inspiration from CD. Now, how will the movie play out? I don't know. I don't think Amy will get captured in the first 5 minutes or whatever of the movie, and then Sonic has to save her, like exactly what we see in the CD game. I don't think that will be the case. I feel like Amy will play as more of assistant helper towards Sonic and his friends, and then probably take down Robotnik, because we do know he will be returning, most likely as another as an antagonist of the film, and alongside Metal Sonic and possibly Dr. Agent Stone. So for the plot, I don't know how the plot will go, but yeah, I feel like I just mentioned, that Amy and Sonic and his team will team up to possibly stop Robotnik. If I had to guess, probably from doing something dangerous time, like stopping time or destroying time, if that even makes sense at all. Because there's definitely some time traveling in CD if you run into those past future signs. If you play the game, you know what I'm talking about. Will we see those signs in the movie? I don't know. It's possible. Or they just use some time machines or something to travel the past or go to the future. Maybe fake some timeline to possibly stop the bad guys. So yeah, this may be... I don't know if the fourth movie will be as a big movie as the third movie, because I know that was very successful among the fans. Like, becoming the highest grossing video game film of all time is just fascinating. It's fantastic. But I do know it will probably be, it will definitely be worth the wait if you're a Sonic fan, and if you're a fan of Amy, and if you love Metal Sonic as a villain. I know this movie will definitely be worth the wait. Like, even if it doesn't be as successful as the third movie or be as good as the third movie, I think the movie will do well among the fan base. Just like the second movie when it first dropped, and then the third movie when it first dropped. The first one, we obviously already know what was going to happen to Sonic's model originally, and then we end up becoming, really anticipated on to see what happens next. Okay, I'm off topic. I need to get back to the point. Another thing I want to touch out is that if you've seen the post credits of the third movie, is that, well, Shadow is obviously still alive, which I'm sure some of us are not surprised by it, because he obviously does return even after the events of Sonic Adventure 2. So will he be a villain in the fourth movie again? Like, will he take revenge on Sonic? Well, it's a little bit more complicated, but I know a lot of people are going to say no. He would probably be a good guy, but I want to say more like in the middle, maybe more neutral type of guy. We do know he wanted to avenge Maria after what happened to her, and then he goes on a rampage, gets locked up for 50 years, and then gets rescued by Gerald, and then takes revenge on the whole planet, but they end up failing. And then Shadow does the right thing and pushes the exploding ship that's about to, that was presumably supposed to destroy the whole Earth, but ends up being pushed away, ends up being destroyed, and ends up presumably killing Shadow and Robotnik. But if you've seen the movie, obviously, or seen the news on Jim Carrey returning to the role, he obviously does not happen. Now, I'm surprised that Jim Carrey is going to be returning to the movie, because I thought that was it. I thought that was the end of Jim Carrey's career, but I guess he thought of it twice and was like, no, retiring is not the right thing to do. I have to return to the role, which is good news. Like, if you're a Jim Carrey fan, it's good news. I think Jim Carrey is like a perfect Robotnik for the movie, because like, I think like he honestly may be better than the regular modern Robotnik that we know today, or Eggman, whatever you guys want to call him. You know, he's humorous, he's a little goofy sometimes takes his job very seriously, but I think he's perfect. He's like funny, he's fun, you know. Meanwhile, regular Robotnik, like in the games and the Sonic show and stuff like that, he's like a little more serious guy. But no, don't get me wrong, I know that's his personality, but I think Jim Carrey is a perfect role, so I'll be pretty excited to see him return and how he will play Robotnik as this one, and then possibly continue to torture Sonic. That's pretty much what he does, even after the events of Sonic X, for example. He turns good for a little bit, and then the show stops, and then we do see him about to try to form the Eggman Empire. So I mean, that's pretty much what he's been all this time, as a villain against Sonic, like one of his biggest rivals in the entire franchise. So yeah, Robotnik will definitely be returning as a villain. As for Shadow, I say it's possible he will be returning as a villain, but I have no idea. If I had to guess, probably 70% of me says yes, 30% of me says no. But I do want to see, like, if Shadow becomes a good guy, like, how will he play? Like, will he help Sonic? Like, will he team up with them as they take down Robotnik and Metal Sonic, and possibly Agent Stone, if Agent Stone returns to the role, or the actor playing as him at least. The final thing I want to touch on is that will Sonic 4 really be the last Sonic movie of the movie universe? I don't know if it's true, but I heard some rumors that Sonic 4 may be the last movie of, like, in the entire cinema universe or whatever. If that even makes sense, the way I said it that way. I want to say probably not. Like, I know they still have a lot more characters to introduce, but what they can do is possibly introduce way more characters that was never shown. Like Knuckles, for example, we never saw him in the post-credits in the first Sonic movie, and then he never made his first major appearance until we saw the trailer for Sonic 2. I want to say they can do some characters like that. Like, even if we don't see Silver or any other character that appear in any credits, any ending post credits, basically. Like, if they didn't appear there, they might appear in the movie, like, as a surprise, even if we don't see them in the trailer. Like, it could be a shocking and more surprise, and then maybe it could get, like, the movie hyped up and, like, see fans like anticipate to see what happens next during the movie. Like, even if you didn't see the trailer, especially, like, see no trailer, see no screenshots or anything, you just see the poster, and then you look at the movie, oh my god, Silver appears, okay, I want to see what happens next. That's what I'm trying to say, if that even makes sense. Like, I'm trying to get the gist. Like, I want to give you guys the gist of what I'm trying to say, basically. But yeah, I don't know if it's necessary to end off the movie franchise in the fourth movie. I feel like they could do up to probably 7 at most, maybe up to 9. But I don't know. I know that would take way too long, and then they could run out of ideas. But I know Sega's universe is basically associated by Sega, so they can keep going as long as they want to, but obviously the franchise has to come to an end. Like, everything has its end, everything has its beginning, and yeah, I feel like if I had to guess, probably the movie will definitely end around the 7th movie, maybe at least 5. But if the 4th movie has to be the final movie, then so be it. Like, the franchise has grown so much. Like, fun fact, it's actually one of the reasons why I started my Sonic obsession, was the movie franchise when I started watching it. But yeah, nobody's gonna care about what I just said. So yeah, so in a shorter way, Amy will team up with Sonic, try to take down Robotnik and Metal Sonic, Agent Stone possibly returning, and then Shadow possibly becoming a villain, but we don't know for sure. And then we could see a new character that we never got to see in the post-credit scene appear in the movie. And then will it be the final one? I'm not sure. I hope possibly not, because I do want the franchise to keep going. I want at least 5, maybe 7 at most. If it goes further than that, then okay, but I want about 7 to, like, 5 to 7. That's fine with me. But yeah, let me know if you guys are agreeing with me. Like, what are your thoughts? Like, are you excited for this movie in about a 2-year wait? Well, it's a little less than 2 years by the time I'm recording this, but I hope it'll be worth the wait. I know it'll definitely be worth the wait if you're an Amy fan and a Metal Sonic fan. I know it will. Like, even if it doesn't do as well as the first 3, or as just the third one, I should say, then I'm sure it will definitely be worth the wait. Well, I think it will be a great movie. Like, I had a feeling. But let me know, you guys. Let me know your predictions, and yeah, see you guys on the next one.